Hi, I'm Stacie, and my blessed story started about a year ago. I started praying that God would allow me to get to know my neighbors, and that was kind of a scary thing at first. But I started praying for that, and then I also started praying that God would allow my children to see what God is doing in my life in order that they might grow spiritually too. And so, I started waving at my neighbors and hey, hi, howdy, and sharing my garden tools with them. And then one day, my dog started barking and I went outside to go check on him. And there was a lady I'd never seen before walking past my fence. So I said hi, and she said hi. And before you know it, we were in a conversation talking about the neighborhood. And she said she liked to walk in the neighborhood and view God's universe. So I said, oh, do you believe in God? And she said, well, I think so. I'm not really sure. I think maybe there's a God out there. And that she had been visiting this really big church in downtown Auburn. And I said, it's not Grace, is it? And she goes, yeah, it's Grace. And I said, oh, that's great. I go to Grace. Conversation continued, and I invited her over for tea. And she said, can I bring my Bible and we could read from the Bible too? And I said, well, yeah, that'd be great. So she came over and we had tea. We opened the book of John. She had lots and lots of questions. And I tried to answer the questions the best I could, and I invited her to come back the next week, and she did, and we had tea again and conversation, the book of John, and by the third week, we read about John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him won't perish but have everlasting life. She prayed that day and asked Jesus to be her Savior. It was her rebirth day. Well, she comes to my house once a week and we have Bible study together. She's growing in the Lord, and I get to see that growth in her. And not only that, she's coming to church all the time. She's inviting her friends to come. It's wonderful. But my daughter has been watching this story take place too. And in May, when the Hope series started, I invited my daughter to come with me and try out the new life groups that were starting at 9 o'clock in the morning in the chapel. So she said she would come. And so my daughter has been coming to the life group with me through that time, through the summer. And by the end of the summer, she was talking about wanting to do something for the Lord. So she signed up to be a greeter. And that's been an exciting part of our lives. And now she asked me if we could do our 84 days of soaring Bible study together. And so every day we have our devotional time with mom and daughter, and we get to share about the Lord. And now Lindsay and I are looking for how we can bless others. And that's my blessed story.